how do we get into John Williams' action music, the harmony of that music? Because it sounds semi-familiar. Like there are triads definitely hiding somewhere in there, and yet there are other dissonant notes, and it's hard to systematize it and understand it from a sort of theoretical point of view. And on top of that, you have the progressions, which aren't standard. You mentioned there's a uncommon 2-5-1 or what have you. Functional progressions tend to be very scarce, especially in the action music. So what are we really dealing with, right? It's almost like it's written in a different language. Like it's a language that we understand, but to understand it from a sort of compositional point of view, I think is very difficult. It's taken me a long time to try and understand some of this stuff. So I'll share with you what I've been able to learn about this over the past several years. But I think there are two really fundamental points I'd like to start out with, and one of them you already touched on, and that is that Williams has a very large harmonic vocabulary when it comes to particularly action writing. It's almost like he doesn't want to write the same cue twice. It's just, he wants to challenge himself and have something different for each cue. And we know how good he is at tailoring each scene, the music to each scene. So that's the first thing. And as you said, it's such a large vocabulary that it's too much even to explain here, but I'll give you a taste of it, is to show you the kinds of things he's dealing with. The second point is that he tends to use all these chords and scales with a tremendous flexibility. Now, I don't mean I don't mean to say that it's random or they're just notes that you have to put in brackets and say I don't know, but there are things like if we think of traditional non-chord tones and neighbor notes, passing tones, and things like this. There's a lot of that in his action music. If we look at it from a sort of scale point of view, let's say a lot of it is octatonic, and you start to free it up from the confines of just 8 notes and say, this is a neighbor tone, this could be an appoggiatura or what have you. And once you start to do that, it's almost like chipping away at a more basic structure underneath, and you can start to see, oh yeah, that actually octatonic for quite some time here, but it's varied and it has all this flexibility. So those 2 points I'd like to really keep in mind as we go through our analyses today.